Hi, I'm Lauren from LSP Actions. Welcome to this tutorial for our torn paper shoot through overlays. If you haven't already, please watch video tutorial number 1 where I show you how to download and extract the torn paper overlays from our website, how to get the actions in, and an overview of what these actions do and how they work. I'd recommend this especially if you're a beginner. If you're more familiar with slightly more advanced editing in Photoshop, or you've used our LSP overlay packs, you can dive straight in. In this tutorial, we're going to be adding a heart to this beautiful maternity image, a ripped paper heart, but we're also going to be having her kind of coming through the paper. You've probably seen this image on our socials. If you haven't, it's super cute, and this is a really nice option you can add for your client. So I'm going to dive straight in, and what we're going to do is change the colour of the heart to match this image to keep it monochrome. I'm going to hit choose the overlay and layers again. If I'm going too fast, please watch the first tutorial. And I'm going to go ahead and select a paper heart for this image. I'm not going to use one of the really light ones. We're going to go ahead and use a medium one. Which one shall we go for? How about Torn Paper Heart 5? I think the tone at the moment, rather than colour, you want to kind of look at toning. As you can see, these are made with real paper. So I'm going to kind of resize this in to suit our image. I'm going to get her in the middle of the heart. Let's say about there. And you can see all the layers have been set up in your layers panel, as we went through in video tutorial 1. And we also have all of these extra actions to add in if you wanted to. First of all, I'm going to turn on the colour change action by hitting here where it's kind of a little box. We can turn this on. The heart has automatically gone to kind of a pinky red tone, so I'm just going to double click this, double click the colour box, and it will bring up a colour picker. Hover over your image to pick the correct colour and hit OK. And magically now you can see our heart paper background, our torn paper, has turned to the colour you want. If you find it's, for example, a different shade, if it's too dark or too light, you can use our darkening and lifting actions here, or you can edit manually. You can just literally turn these on or off in the layers panel. Everything is very, very versatile. So next up, we want to have our subject poking out. If you're in an older version of Photoshop, not Creative Cloud, I'm going to show you how to do this with Creative Cloud in just one moment. If you're in an older version, you need to click on the layer mask of the torn paper heart, which is a white box. Grab your brush, make sure it's on black. I like 100% opacity, 25% flow, hit enter. Make my brush a little bit smaller. Black means hide and white means show, so I wanted to hide this paper heart because it's over the top of our subject. So you can just literally start painting this away to reveal your subject. Don't worry about how neat it is to begin with. I'm just going to make that brush a little bit harder by right clicking and changing the brush settings. Don't worry about how neat this is. We want to just make sure all of our subject is showing. And I've chosen the heart colour to be the same as the background. You know, you can choose something completely kind of opposite if you wanted to. I'm going to do that just for a moment so we can see our masking here. Can you see our masking is a little bit fluffy around the subject? So at this point on the torn paper heart background, on the layer mask, I'm just going to click on that again. B for brush, or select the brush on your tool menu. I'm going to just start painting the subject away, which means white because we want to be showing the heart again. So you can kind of manually come around, get your brush hard, and just kind of manually come in and be masking that subject. What I'm going to do is show you what to do in Creative Cloud now. If you don't have Creative Cloud and you're on an older version of Photoshop, I definitely recommend Creative Cloud because it's absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to click on our subject, which is the background layer, come up to select and hit subject. 9 times out of 10, Photoshop does a great job of making a selection for you. If you've got some flyaway hair like we have in this one at this point, I'm just going to hold down Alt and click the eye on this layer so we can just see our subject. If you've got some flyaway hair or you think Photoshop hasn't maybe quite selected, you can refine the selection. I like to use Quick Selection tool. You can see here it hasn't picked up her hand, so I'm just dragging quick selection over. Give your selection a little check. You can come up to select and mask and hit refine hair, and that's just going to kind of go around these edges, or you can click the refine brush yourself and drag this around the hair like so and hit OK. I'm going to alt click this layer again to show everything. Click on the mask of the torn paper hearts, grab your brush, set to black because we want to make this paint the heart away where our subject is, and just start painting on. You can increase your brush opacity and flow if you wanted to at this stage, but you can see now our subject is poking out of the heart background. Super cute. I'm going to go and change the colour back to purple, so I'm going to double click on the colour change layer to bring up our colour picker, hover over the purple and click it and hit OK. And you can see already we have a super cute image. Our subject is kind of poking out of the heart. Now I'm going to look into the paint shadows. We have paint shadows. Bring our layers panel out a touch. Paint shadows onto subject background. It's a black layer mask, so to make it show, we need a white brush. I'm going to make this nice and soft. And I'm just going to lightly come around these areas here. Anywhere where it looks like the paper heart might be touching, just to get a more of a realistic result. To paint it off, you can select a black brush. To paint it on, the shadows, you want a white brush. White is show, black is hide. Now I'm going to click on this shadow layer at the top here where it paints shadows with a white brush. This is clipped in to our torn paper. So if I paint this on now, you can see it's only going on our paper layer. So I'm going to get my brush nice and small and think about where shadows would naturally be showing. They would be naturally showing just around here and under the elbow. So I'm just painting those on. And there we go. Now you'll notice here, the way this image was originally shot, she is further over. We have this kind of large negative space next to her, like behind her. And we've positioned the heart where we want it. So at this stage, you would crop your image. You can crop it in exactly how you want it to be. Or if you've got the perfect crop and you want to fill this area, here's how I recommend doing it. On the actions at the bottom, you will see we have extra new merge layer. So I'm going to click this one. That's going to create a merged image of everything. You can click on the layer, select any negative space on the sides or the bottom, just draw a rectangle around it, come up to edit, fill, and choose content aware fill. If you've got a more complicated background and you're on Photoshop Creative Cloud latest, you can use generative fill. That can also be really, really helpful. I find content aware is great. You can watch the other tutorials for how to do lots of different things and how to use all these extras, including completely kind of not just changing the colour but also changing the toning and adding more shadows and doing some creative things with these ripped papers. So I hope that tutorial was helpful. I can't wait to see what you do with these. Please do post in the LSP Actions Facebook group. I'm Lauren, thanks for watching.